perceived by many as something frivolous. Let me now disagree with some of the things that have been said. It has been suggested that being creative is not part of the Malaysian culture. It is said that the Malaysian tradition of subservience and conformity is incompatible with a culture of creative thinking, which often is about breaking away from conventional thinking, which often is about questioning what has been handed down. It is also said that as people who adhere strictly to religious teaching, thinking creatively goes against the grain. It is said that as Asians, we have a cultural inclination to blend in and not to stand out. I think we are full of excuses. The truth is that our population is made up of some of the most talented people in the world. The Muslim world gave us something we continue to use to this day: soap, because of the religion's emphasis on cleanliness. Soap was manufactured in the Middle East for centuries before the West even knew about it. Muslims invented algebra and worked out the angle of the tilt of the earth. They built the first windmill, pioneered the concept of the crank rod, and designed the first torpedo. Muslim creativity also led to numerous other inventions that are still in use today, hundreds and thousands of years later. Their pursuit of knowledge led them to build the world's largest libraries, which they simply call houses of wisdom. From Egypt came the mysterious pyramids that until today baffle scientists and engineers, a feat that cannot even be copied today. The Egyptians also built the first dam. The Chinese invented paper around the year 105. Gutenberg is officially credited with inventing the printing press is 1440. But the Chinese created a type of printing press long before that, around 200 BC. And the Chinese had introduced books to replace scrolls, a good 450 years ahead of Gutenberg. They also have invented the suspension bridge, gunpowder, and the first steam-propelled cart, hundreds of years before the first steam-propelled engine was built in the West. And well before Texas Instruments introduced the calculator, the Chinese were using the abacus. The Indians were weaving cotton and wearing comfortable cotton attires 3,500 years before the West got to know about it, when the West was still wearing animal skins. The Indians invented the spinning wheel, of course, something the Europeans did not catch up with until the Middle Ages. The world's first planned cities were found in India. Every house had its own bathroom and toilet 5,000 years ago. It's a long list, and the list goes on. The East and the Middle East were centers of ancient inventions. They were leaders of innovative thinking and inventive creativity for 1,000 years. So all these excuses that being Asian or Malaysian make us incapable of thinking or make us incapable of creative thinking can only come from people who do not do much thinking. The truth is that this country is blessed with a lot of talented people. It is how we develop them that is important, and that will decide the future of this country. To be an innovative nation, that is capable of competing successfully around the world will need to produce people who will break the norm. We have to have people who will simply not take the easy way out and simply not question. We'll need to start them early. We need to start them at primary one. We need to address the conservative Malaysian mindset in the right way to make that leap into creativity and innovation. To develop a talent pool, we have to develop a system of training that nurtures and inspires the young generation to be people who want to achieve greatness, not just doing well. We must have a vision that they can share and a strategy that they can apply and a goal that can aim for and be a part of. Our school system has to be more creative and liberal in order to allow students to arrive at creative solutions. We should have fewer one right answer solutions. We should move into a situation where there can be many right answers and not just black and white answers. Breaking the norm, not accepting all that is handed down, and continuously seeking better and more practical solutions or more competitive options are central to the creative process. Rules and regulations that have become stumbling blocks must be removed. Rules and regulations that encourage people to concentrate on not making mistakes will lead to conformity and blind compliance. It will inhibit creativity and stifle the imagination of our young people. Rules and regulations that attempt to impose a one-size-fits-all structure will hamper the efforts of educational institutions to become effectively competitive. We must make inventiveness and out-of-the-box thinking, inventiveness and out-of-the-box creativity the expected outcome of our education system and its leadership vision. When we impose strict rules, we are stopping the students from thinking for themselves. We will be forcing them to be dull people. Young people are naturally vibrant and full of creative energy. We must allow our young people enough freedom to express themselves and enough space to be the person they want to be. We must not keep imposing upon them our views. We must allow them to grow. Advanced countries see creativity as a key component of early education. Their school children learn about design technology from year one and move on to innovation 2 years later. The moment you get into design technology, you are already into the process of ideation. You are thinking cultural diversity and creativity. Often, we forget that within our society and within our communities, there are talents that if we develop them actively will add competitiveness to the country.